welcome back to Zen Waves. So, as the title says, today's main theme is going to be related to circular economy. So, for those who are unfamiliar with the term circular economy, the official definition from Ellen MacArthur Foundation, the organization that is really pioneering the concept, is that circular economy is a systemic approach to economic development, designed to benefit businesses, society, and most importantly, the environment. Our environment has finite resources, so we need to stop thinking that businesses can grow forever by taking from nature. So, circular economy is the solution. It tells us things like recycle materials so we can reuse them, repair our products so that we can lengthen the lifespan of our products, or we can just refuse to buy things that we don't really need. And today we have a very special guest, Yuu Kato, to talk to us about circular economy activities in Japan. Now, Kato is the founder of Harch Inc, a parent company that runs a number of media for social good, including Zenbird Media, and our sister site, Ideas for Good, an online magazine that shares unique sustainability ideas from around the world with Japan. Today, we want to focus on the two new media that Kato has started recently, Circular Economy Hub and Circular Yokohama. I'm really excited to find out what these two media has in store for us for Japan. But before we start, Yu-san, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me, Roger.
No, thank you for being here. How has your weekend been? I mean, it's been a 4-day long weekend.
Yeah, I enjoyed my holiday. So I went to Kumamoto. And I visited our Japanese traditional sweets producer, and I had a good time with there. Yeah, I just enjoyed my private time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the coronavirus
Yes,
outbreak
yes.
yeah, and we started remote working.
Yes.
How have you been spending your time, during your stay-home periods?
Well, since the coronavirus has spread, I started working from home. It's like you as well.
Yep.
And yeah, but I enjoyed a new style of working. So I had a time to work as long as possible.
Right.
And also I sometimes enjoyed walking around my home and found attractive places around my home. So yeah, it was nice. How about you?
Me? I started reading a lot more, I
Okay.
guess. Yeah.
Mm.
Especially this weekend, I've been reading about a philosopher, Simone de Beauvoir. I think she has some really unique ideas about gender equality. So before I ask you about Circular Economy Hub and Circular Yokohama, I'm really curious. Is the term circular economy new in Japan?
Well, I think it's not so new. So I guess since 2017 around, so the term of circular economy had spread gradually in Japan. So now a part of business community accept these words.
Do you think that circular economy as a concept is attractive for the Japanese people?
In my opinion, it's very attractive because when we look back our history in Japan, so we kind of have some very similar culture like circular economy. So the concept of circular economy has been very similar to us. Yeah, originally, I
I
think.
see.
Mm.
Okay. Before we go on, I'd like to introduce a Circular Economy Hub.
Mhm.
Now, as I understand that Circular Economy Hub is really a platform to promote circular economy in Japan. And to do so, Circular Economy Hub supports companies and even local governments through providing information, organizing workshops, and even networking sessions. Now, how active is the circular economy scene in Japan? Are businesses open to the idea of circular economy?
Yes, I think some of the Japanese companies has already adapted the concept of circular economy into their corporate strategy, and now some of companies has already developed a business model, like circular business model. Yeah, so now we can see the trend is emerging in Japan, like other countries. So we can find some very unique, good practices, especially in the area of like food, plastic, or agriculture.
Usually, for example, when you hold workshops, what kind of questions do businesses ask you about circular economy?
Yeah, one of the most popular questions is like, what's the difference between like circular economy and like recycling economy, and also the question like, is the circular economy profitable? Is also one of the very popular questions, I guess.
Yeah, I can imagine why it will be so concerned because it can be said is rather revolutionary idea of
Mm-hmm.
doing businesses,
Yeah.
right? Last year we went to Amsterdam and we talked with a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And one thing I find myself not realizing, and it was quite a surprise for me, is how human resources play a part in circular economy.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Now we have businesses asking, is it profitable?
Mm-hmm.
I have forgotten about the people behind it.
Mm.
Yeah. And you see, what's your thought about human resources for circular economy in Japan?
Yeah, I think, as you said, I was also surprised to know that the people aspect is really important in the circular economy. And in Japan, when we talk about the circular economy, people usually talk about like planet and profit. So people miss the aspect of the people. But when we think of the new way of economy, of course, the human has to be the center of the system. So we have to think, of course, about people because the circular economy will create new jobs, and also on the other hand, the new system will might some of jobs. So we have to make a transition more inclusively. Also, we have to develop new skills for the people who will be at the risk of losing their jobs. So yeah, the thinking about people is really important when we think about the circular economy.
So I would like to go on to circular Yokohama
Mhm.
right now because to me it's a very interesting medium. Now, of course, circular Yokohama, I would say a smaller version of circular economy hub, in that sense that you are promoting circular economy in Yokohama City. I think the most interesting aspect about circular Yokohama is that you are trying to promote circular economy concept to citizens, to residents of Yokohama City.
Mm.
Now, why do you think it's important for citizens and not just businesses to
Mm.
care about circular economy?
Well, that's a very good question, and definitely the concept of circular economy needs kind of collaboration between corporate businesses and citizens. So when we think about like recycling, so without a cooperation from citizens, we can never like increase the rate of recycling. So the citizens is also taking a very important role in creating a circular economy. So, and also they are already part of the economies. When we think of the circular economy, especially in local areas, including citizens in our activities, is very important.
I think that's a very interesting point
Mm.
because we very usually we keep asking businesses to go, for example, ask them to be sustainable,
Mm.
make sustainable products,
Mm.
but we must not forget that there's the other part of the equation is the people who buys them, people who
Mm.
uses the services,
Yes.
and we are really all part of the equation.
And also, the unique thing in Yokohama City is that, as you know, Yokohama City is the second largest city in Japan next to Tokyo. and it has more than 3.5 million people. So it's really a large city. The unique thing is that most of the citizens living in Yokohama City is working in Tokyo. So
Right.
which means there are many consumers in Yokohama, but very few producers.
Right.
So this kind of imbalance needs more like circular model, circular city model. So in order to complete the circular economy in the local area, we have to create more producers, not only like food or other stuff, but also in the area of service industry, we needed to have more producer or service providers. So that's why the Yokohama city should make a transition into more circular economy. I
Right.
think. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
What are some examples of businesses that you think is really unique right now in Yokohama, especially in the aspect of circular economy?
We can find some good examples. For instance, one of the plastic manufacturer is now trying to create their own products from waste plastic, so ocean plastic. The company's employees are collecting plastic waste on the beach and create new, for instance, dishes, cutleries. So which is really beautiful. And also we can find a very good example of circular agriculture. So local people collect seaweeds in the ocean, from the ocean, and they use them as a fertilizer in the farm, and they create local spice. And the unique thing is that the project includes educational part, so some of the children in schools are involved in the project, which is really a good opportunity for them to learn about the new way of economy. So yeah, we can find many good projects and examples in Yokohama City.
Right. Well, last but not least, I want to ask, what's next for Circular Economy Hub and for Circular Yokohama? What do you have planned in the future?
Yeah, for Circular Economy Hub, now we try to first of all map all the projects related to circular economy in Japan. So I don't know actually the exact number of projects already in Japan, but the first thing we would like to do is to map all the projects in Japan so that we can grasp the whole picture of what's going on in our country. And for Circular Yokohama, it is also very exciting news. So now we plan to launch a new learning program for citizens in Yokohama,
Right.
cooperating with the local municipalities and also NPOs and local businesses. So which is a very collaborative participatory project, and we will create a space where people can learn about circular economy, not just in the room, but also we prepare some kind of field work so that they can explore real practices in the city. So yeah, I'm really excited to launch that kind of program in the future. Yes.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, that's the end of our talk. Of course, we'd like to know more about circular economy in depth. But thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully, we can have another round at it again.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.